Hello, Michelle Gray. We've been having all sorts of trouble with Zoom or internet. I don't know what it is. So I don't know about this, guys. But also, hello, Erik, my love. I love you. And thank you, Dr. Royal Rife, for being patient. And for Dr. Tesla, Nikola Tesla, thank you too. I'm just going to call you doctor because if you're not, you deserve to be. All right. So can you use, let's talk about scalar energy first. Mr. Dr. Tesla, can you use this? Well, I just asked this technology, but this is going to be for the YouTube. Okay, all right. What is scalar energy? Because this is made into YouTube and people might not know. How would you best describe it?
Hello, 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 and he's blowing you kisses. And that's how I was saying, addressed you as doctor. So they're
okay.
Co-inventor. Oh, yes, Rife as well. They're saying that you share that desire with them.
Okay. And this is terrible. I really want to do this, and it's not working out. Dr. Tesla, what should I do? It's just not. Let me get my net gear thing.
With the abundant energy.
I'm going to pause this. Let's try this again. I hooked it to another Wi-Fi thing. So,
okay.
Can you tell me what scalar energy is? Tell the kind of people out there.
So what he's saying is scalar energy is something that we already are. So he says the energy within our body, like the chi, prana, what comes from the sun, the stars. He says it what exists, but it's what exists outside of us and within us. And he calls it an abundant energy. He's not saying it's direct energy, but it's what we can harness within ourselves and from our resources. He keeps showing like a lightning bolt going from the ground all the way up to the sun. So he shows like a bolt of harnessing this energy and learning how to, okay. He says what we do with it is we learn how to focus it, learn how to expand it, because he keeps showing, and he showed me this a few moments ago, circles, like it's infinite, it's circles of energy. So it's not like a direct, it's abundant, it's circular, it's expanded, keeps growing, keeps going.
It's they say it's informational energy as well, right?
Yes, he says that's correct. He's saying like it's all information, and it keeps showing me this space in between the sun and the stars, like in the sky. He keeps showing all of that being energy, all of that being information, and he says God, even if we don't call it God, the source, all that is.
Yes.
It's all information, it's all energy.
That's right.
Regardless of what we use the description of, that is our natural source, and that's what we are made up of as well.
Okay, can you use this scalar energy to improve powers of manifestation? And if so, how? And there's lots of different, types. There's the remote, there's the one where you have the two boxes, receiver and transmitter, yeah. Tell me, can you use that and how?
He says yes, but he what he says is that it's two parts. When we think about manifestation, he says it does not do it on its own. We need to have our focus. how to put our focus into it. So if we are using something, and he shows a human being between, I don't know what to call it, two dishes. It looks like two dishes.
Right.
Somebody standing in between it, that using our focus, that it expands or helps direct that focus. So don't just manifest with that alone, that it works within the energy within us as well. I'm not sure if that's explaining quite right, because he's giving a lot of picture, but he calls it an assistant. It's like an assistant.
Well, what if we write our intention on a piece of paper and hold it and are in between the receiver and transmitter, and we put our intent there? Would that help?
Yes, it would, he says.
Now, Raylene?
This is the part, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Well, he was just saying that this is not a third dimensional process.
Okay.
So he says when he's speaking in these terms, he wants people to understand that he is speaking into a fifth dimensional, a multi-dimensional. This is not closed in a box.
Yes.
So the information expands. Yes. Mm-hmm.
Interesting. All right. So what about Raylene said that she had Scalar, and somebody came to her house and put her between those two things, this machine that Spooky 2 Scalar sells. And they say you can even put a picture of your house in there, and it will improve the manifestation of anybody in the house.
He said light, that so the pictures hold light, frequency, and information. All the information would be captured in the picture, so that it does not matter whether you are at a location or he says that it carries whatever you're connected to. He keeps showing he's showing me a picture, and he's showing a house on the picture, and he shows light coming off the house and being part of this bigger aura. So connecting all to this big aura, and I can see the aura in two different shades, like they're moving together, two different colors moving together, but they're bringing the color off of the picture at the same time.
Okay, so I was introduced to this guy who is owns scalarlight.com. His name is Tom Palladino, and he's very sweet. And he has different programs where you send him a picture of yourself, and then he will remotely, there are different programs like the standard thing, or if you have addiction and chemical detox and stuff like that, then he sends this energy at different frequencies depending on what your needs are to you. So, and it seems to have an effect.
Tesla is just saying that is an example of exactly what he was showing me, and he says that he would not even need to know the information. So you're not required to speak the information to him. So if you had something within the body, the energy or the frequency, the light goes to what it's meant to do. You don't have to speak that information to Tom, is his name?
Tom.
To that gentleman. That
Yeah.
He's able to do it right from, and that has to do with his equipment. Tesla said this is why it's so important for people to step outside of the box when they're looking at this, because this is not woo-woo crazy. This is multidimensional. This is what we are.
The star, it's the light of stars.
Yes, yes, yes.
So that's interesting. So it's also, like, I believe Tom said, it is the energy of our thoughts, and also the energy, healing energy of Reiki is pretty much scalar energy, but on a certain level.
Yeah, he had said, he showed me Reiki because he had showed me light coming off of my hands, and saying that is the same thing. And that is why manifestation, our thoughts and our emotions, that manifestation, yes, we can have a vision board and write things down on that board. And yes, that does have a frequency and power to it. But because we are that power, we're sending out those frequency, those codes and that information. And whatever Tom has, it's like it amps it up, it multiplies it.
Yeah.
It cleans it if necessary, it blasts it, it destroys it, it expands it, it returns it and restores it to balance. That's what he says.
Cool. So basically, if you, it just will magnify your intent for manifestation.
Yes.
Okay, good. Is scalar energy
Yes.
also what's behind psychics being able to see in the future, at least during that quantum probability, and mediums channeling? Are they somehow using scalar energy?
Yes.
Cool.
Yes. Yeah, that is really cool.
Now,
Yes.
can these machines, if they get in the wrong hands, can they be used for nefarious or abusive reasons?
He said yes, it could. Erik is just kind of adding on to that. Hold on, see what he's saying. He says that to remember that intention and what manifestation actually is, that we can manifest any experience. But he says there's also a, when it comes to healing, like it could only go so far. Because then there's a support, like a universal support that enhances when it's for benefit for all.
Okay.
So he's just showing that the power of benefit would be much bigger than the power of non-benefit, the opposite, even though both are able to exist. But it could. The answer simply could be yes. It could do that, yes, for somebody.
Now, Dr. Rife, I'm sorry if it seems like I'm ignoring you, but I would like to ask also if the Rife machine or Rife type energy can be used for manifestation, or is it mostly for healing and curing and things?
Well, he said, yes, it can be used for manifestation. And he's saying, hello, thank you for inviting me here.
Thank you. I mean,
He said, he says, thank you. He's talking about this being direct. So his invention, his, frequency, he says having the knowledge to direct it. So he shows me, like he's okay. He shows me, I know it's sound, but he's using a like a healing bowl, like a
okay,
saying the right word for it, but tapping it
bowl kind of thing
for sound.
Okay.
Yes, tapping it for sound, and saying that the thought with the sound, that it does the same thing, but it's like being more direct. Just like if we were looking to heal something, he says it's understanding the frequency needed to heal.
Right.
Having that understanding, so it doesn't have the, even though they're very similar and they can produce similar results, one has like a continuation to it.
Okay,
one
so
has like a
Rife cannot be sent remotely. Is that what you're trying to get at? Rife energy?
not in the same way, because this is by vibration, he says.
Okay,
By
well,
vibration.
back up and you tell us what is Rife and what kind of energy it's used, and does it require some sort of carrier wave, just things like that.
Okay. He keeps saying frequency. By frequency, he says for what he, this was an invention that, because he shows me study that turned into more understanding. He keeps showing like, showing me a sound wave coming off this bowl. I'm not quite sure what he's getting at, but it's like sound waves that are, he's saying the word direct. This is
Okay,
where
I get it.
where my science knowledge would help me with
But so
this.
basically, Rife machines use the energy that, unlike scalar energy, is on the electromagnetic spectrum, right? And
Yes,
and it comes to like a cancer or whatever, with the help of a carrier wave,
yes,
a radio
yes,
wave, or okay,
yes. He says because he shows me two, like resonance.
okay.
There being two waves, two
Oh,
riding
okay.
together, if that makes sense.
Oh,
Riding
cool. Yeah, it
together.
does. It really does. Now, again, can this also be used if in the wrong hands for ill intent?
Subliminal messages and tone.
Okay. Yeah, you blinked out on
See
me.
sound.
Okay.
Oh, did you miss that last part?
Yeah, I just got subliminal messages and tone.
Okay, lower frequency sounds, he said, and he shows me
Oh,
like in a city, he's showing me the aerial view of a city, and I can see like a sonar sound coming out and people not feeling well, like
oh,
feeling
wow.
unwell. So things that we would not, sorry, this is smoking right in front of my face. Things would not, that we would not see, and that we would not understand the level. So he said that there is some um, secrecy, like knowledge of other beings or knowledge of those in power. And this is going back anciently,
Yeah.
having understanding that what frequency can do. Part of what has been suppressed in our
Oh, yeah.
world
Okay.
about frequency and
Okay.
healing.
Speaking of which, is the scalar energy machine and the Rife machine, are either of those reverse ET technology?
They're both smiling and they said, of course, they said that it, although, okay, they're not showing connecting themselves with ETs, but they're
Oh,
saying that they channeled information,
oh,
that
okay.
they not understanding, but that they were born for the purpose of building a foundation that would then help the next generation expand. But this goes back hundreds of years, maybe not in, Erik says not in Western culture,
Yeah.
but in other civilizations. Although how we describe it in our words is quite different than maybe how they would express it, but it's the whole idea that is the same. They're not bringing me back to reverse technology, as in I'm not
Okay. Yeah.
seeing ETs
No.
together, but I'm feeling it coming through channeled. I'm feeling it coming through the top of the head.
Okay. We've got a lot of questions, so y'all gonna have to keep it a little shorter. Sorry. I hate to tell y'all what to
Okay.
do. Y'all are big wigs, but okay.
All right.
What do you see for the future of scalar energy, Dr. Tesla? I mean, do you see this kind of energy replacing electricity and other forms of power that we now use?
The first words he gave was, I see it complementing, complementing our current technology, and that there will be a movement into free energy. Um, this will take time, as there has to be the billions of dollars that are invested in how energy is sold at this time
I
has to be
know.
broken apart for this to come forward.
Exactly. A lot of people make a lot of money on fossil fuels. So, what do you see in the future of other applications for scalar energy? For example, healing or any other applications?
He says that it does and will affect all fields, healing, mental health, beauty, and aging. Um, um, he says overall wellness, like um, people using it as a way to keep balanced. So although for healing and for healing current diseases, but for preventative disease.
Yes. Okay. Okay, good. How about you, Dr. Rife? What do you see as a future in the future of Rife machines, energy, etc.?
He's showing it being a complementary therapy. He uses the same word as complementary. It being a complementary therapy in medical settings. He says that its place where it was suppressed before, that the noise of its value will become in the hands of each individual as we take our sovereignty back, that it will become more of a forefront in healing, less about the bigger platform holding all of the answers and it being taken into our own hands. And he says that it will become a regular form. He also says that because there's so much fear involved with healing, that as the fear subsides, people will realize that this is of great benefit. But it keeps showing a complement, like it has to go through a pairing to
Yeah.
be able to
Okay.
be the one that you go to solely, not for everybody.
Oh yeah, of course. Would a scalar energy, Dr. Tesla, would the scalar energy electrical grid be easier to like hack in and take down than our regular electric grid, or same?
Say that again.
Would it be easier for somebody to hack in and shut down a scalar energy grid versus an electrical energy grid?
It would not be as easy.
I would think so. Yeah. So what about using scalar energy for telecommunications? Can you use it like cell phone and other things like that?
Yes. He says yes. There's already, he says, there's already work that's being done with this. Tesla is just saying that it's not been tested or widely tested, but there's already work that's being done with this. Individuals or groups that are already working with this idea.
Okay. All right. So, what was I going to say? Just, oh, okay. Back to it. Senior moment. Okay. Can it cure? Can Scalar or Rife or both cure genetic diseases like a one that has just one defective gene, like Huntington's disease?
Oh, interesting. Okay. So they're both answering this and saying that it has because it can go right into DNA.
Yes,
It
I
can
know.
go into DNA and cellular. So they're talking about it reversing or changing the cellular structure, changing the structure. But this being like many sessions.
Oh yeah.
Many sessions of it. So having to identify, because they're saying with the Rife machine, the perfect frequency,
Yeah.
identifying the perfect frequency, and many sessions to restore. So yes, that is possible.
Yeah,
That's amazing.
There's this company, Resonant Like Technology, that sells all sorts of Rife equipment that I'm really interested in. And they had this database of different frequencies for different things. So it's kind of cool, like brain cancer or whatever, this kind of cell type.
That's amazing.
Yeah. All right. So, and scalar energy, they're already kind of doing studies in medicine, I think, where scalar energy can go and discombobulate the DNA, I think, or maybe it's RNA, of only the cancer cells if the frequency is right. Is that true?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes, they're both saying yes, and they're giving me a visual. I can see what looks like cells. They're little bit oval shaped, and I
Uh-huh.
can see them jostlating or
Yeah.
showing them moving up and down and then changing the format of them.
Okay.
But yes, they're answering yes, that is correct.
And I know that the scalar energy that Tom Palladino sends can also restore some nutrients, by basically taking, phosphorus atoms and carbon, hydrogen, and remodeling them into whatever nutrient you're deficient in. Can it be
They're
used?
saying restoring balance to the body.
What about depression? Can it help depression? Either of them?
Yes,
Both of them?
yes, yes.
What can it not cure?
They're just saying that this is because when they say the word cure, they're being careful in the fact that it's individually based. So there could be one person that would not have the same success as another, but they're also showing the how do I explain this, Eric? Help me here. It's like the buildup of doing things another way. Like Erik says, like third dimensional, doing Western medicine
Okay,
this
right.
way,
Right.
and your body may have gone so far in one direction that you may get assistance from it, but it may not necessarily cure it.
Okay.
And that this would be different for each person. So they're not saying that you can't cure anything, but they're also saying that the individual body,
Individual, yeah. And also the
and they're
contract,
also,
the spiritual
yes,
contract. Yeah.
yes, Erik just said that. Erik said each individual, it has a lot to do with what they're here to experience. And
Okay.
it also, they're saying that this is the part where each of us takes responsibility. We can't just expect to walk in and put a machine on and say, cure me, and do it, because
No.
this
See
is
that.
part of our thought and emotion and the work that we need to do to improve eating, to improve nutrient, like
Exactly.
everything that
Oh,
we
yeah.
have control over. Yeah.
Sure. And I know that you can use these machines to help the health of pets too. Am I correct in that?
Yes, that's
All right.
correct.
Can you
Yes.
use scalar or Rife energy to make medications or other, like essential oils, anything else more powerful, more potent?
Yes. They said like they're saying that this is anything because it is all made up of everything in the universe. So
Oh,
anything
wow.
can be changed,
Yeah,
or
sure.
anything can, they show it putting it on a table. Like it's a bottle of something is sitting on a table and the frequency of it changes the structure of what's inside.
Cool. Do you see insurance coverage happening anytime soon? Just a yes or no. I don't think so.
Not anytime soon, no.
Okay. Will there ever be technology for a machine that scans the body, determines diseases or other conditions to be healed, then directs the appropriate frequency specifically to those disease cells? Because I think that is some sort of ET technology but will that ever
Yes, that's,
happen?
yes, it will. It will. Um, this is all in the progression of what's being released into our society. And they're saying that this is something that already has existence to it. So this is known about.
Okay. So they have this spooky two scalar, and it's spooky because of quantum. It's not because woo woo. It's just quantum entanglement. A spooky dance at a distance, as Einstein said. They have a machine that's $1,600, right? And they show it. You have to put in like DNA on both sides, receiver and whatever, like a fingernail clipping. Is that necessary, or can it just, use your biofield?
Um, they're not saying that it's necessary. It also depends on how you're applying it,
Okay.
or like what
Uh,
you're doing with it specifically.
would the machine I just spoke of be the best option, or one of the other ones better for scalar energy?
Tesla's saying that one, he's calling it, it's doable, it's decent,
Well,
it's a,
they have more
there's
expensive ones, but
there, okay, because he's saying that there is another one.
mhm.
because he said that there are machines that are very, he's calling them get rich quick schemes. There
Okay.
are machines out there like that. But he says that there's another one. Erik is saying that this is dear in price,
It's
but
what?
that is it's more
Okay.
money, more
Okay. Yeah.
dear in price, costs more. Um, and he's just saying that it's not that it's completely better. I don't know if it's a little easier to use or because they're both going to have the same effect. But there's other ones out there that are, it's like just a little bit, you're paying a lot of money for just a little bit of effect.
Oh, okay. So the one I'm talking about, are you saying there's one that's more expensive that this same company makes or another company?
It's another company,
Okay. Yeah, too bad.
a little more money. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so now the Rife company, like Resonant Light Technology, is that a good company?
Dr. Rife says it is.
Good. Um, what machine they have the plasma Rife, they have PEMF, they have remote cold laser contact. Which one of those machines? Would it be a machine that encompasses all or part or help? I can't remember very much about it.
Okay, so does one have both to it? Because I don't know if it's
Yeah,
got two different applications,
yeah.
because he's showing one that has two different applications is beneficial because it can do more or it has more
Oh, I think I know. Would it be
usage.
the cold laser, the contact? I think that's for like muscle pain. I'll just, but you're talking about probably the one that has plasma and
Yes,
PEMF.
yes,
Okay, good.
yes.
Would you recommend that be the first thing I buy, or the or the scalar machine? Both of you guys, if I had to start out.
The plasma.
Okay, now what about if I want this new company to? I mean, would would my new company do much better with one of these with a scalar, probably because manifestation, or maybe okay, what would I need to get to really improve the success of my company? I could put a little picture of its logo or something. I don't know.
I'm hearing scalar.
Okay, all right.
Scalar.
Let's see here. Use these machines. Well, I guess scalar because it's remote. Can you use it to help others without their knowledge? Like get a picture of them and.
Yes, you can. Um, Erik is just saying that this goes with, so when we take the machines away
Hmm.
and we were to do healing, there is so much that the higher self would allow through. So this has that same type of, because there's so many other things like universal laws at play.
Yeah.
Yes, you can do that. You can put a picture of a loved one and ask for healing, but it will come in the way that is meant for that person without their
Okay.
knowledge. So
Okay.
it's that person's permission would change it or dependent on exactly what it was, because
I
it
got you.
will work the best when the intentions are aligned with it.
Exactly. And if there's,
Mhm.
you don't want to mess up their contract. All right. What are your thoughts about Tom Palladino? And do you have any advice for him?
Both Tesla and Rife are calling him, like he is a pathfinder, a
Mhm.
pioneer, even though there is others with this technology. They're calling him educated, experienced. So he must do a lot of research, or he's done a lot of research,
Yes.
because Rife is saying that he has evidence or he has
Yes.
testimony
Yes. Because
to,
he's, yeah,
yeah,
like the HIV virus, he's done before and after polymerase chain reaction test and shows huge improvement. And
He's a very intelligent man. He's a
yeah.
very intelligent man.
Is he? Are you? Is he the reincarnation of you, Dr. Tesla?
Interestingly enough, and I was wondering that myself because I was feeling that, but he's saying of the same soul stream, or they are of the same, they're
Soul family?
connected,
Okay.
a soul family, like vibrating in the same type of energy. So he is connected to them and can channel his information from them or tap into their field, into
Okay.
their consciousness.
Okay. Now,
Um,
oh, go ahead.
yeah. Oh, I thought they were going to say something else, but
Okay.
it's okay.
Now, speaking of viruses, I mean, I know that at least scalar energy, I'm sure Rife can too. Well, I'm not sure of anything, but can go to the and just totally just destroy the viral RNA. Um,
Mhm.
is that true? Maybe it's DNA. Maybe no, it's RNA. It's RNA.
And yes, Arn. Yes, he says yes. That's
Can you
true.
can you destroy all COVID viruses by using a picture of the genome or the virus with any of these modalities? That'd be cool.
Interesting. He says yes. He's putting a direct correlation to COVID
Wow. So if I
and saying that
put it,
there's
oh
yes,
wow. But you'd have to have the intent, like destroy everything that has this genome, right?
yes, but there's more to that too, in particular with that virus, because Erik is just adding that because it is collectively, it has a collective agreement with it, that
Oh,
there
yeah.
would be more to it than that.
Okay.
There's a bit more but this is like with somebody specifically going to each individual. It's like you could work with each individual
Okay.
to eradicate it, to destroy it, but putting a picture in, it's like it could change its severity.
Okay.
Not that it would eradicate it, not maybe not right now, but this also has to do with collectively why it's here and the collective agreement with individuals, because there's many different layers to that.
Okay. Could somebody go through a portal that emits scalar energy and get rid of a virus in their, like if they have the influenza? Probably wouldn't be a matter of seconds, but like walking into a hospital room with a pain, you want to make sure they don't have.
They're answering yes, because Tesla is turning to me and saying, and this is what the multidimensional
The what?
frequencies and understanding that this is not a third dimensional process. He was meaning by it being multidimensional frequencies, about it not being a third dimensional process. He says, yes, that's possible.
So how long would that take? I mean, could they just?
He says it's not linear. It's
Oh
not
yeah, yeah.
linear.
So
So he's not giving it time.
Okay, say you have grandpa is sick in the hospital, and a little kid has a rhinovirus, and you don't want to. Can that kid just walk through a scalar energy portal? I mean, a portal that just like a little thing that emits scalar energy. That it would probably have to be tuned to a certain frequency.
He says yes, but he's also saying that there, and I'm not sure exactly what they are, but he's showing other probabilities around that have to align for that to take place.
Okay. All right. So, are there any dangerous side effects, short or long term, for either scalar energy or the Rife machine, if it's used correctly?
They're not showing me anything. They're saying that damage would be from incorrect use.
Yeah. Okay, that's fine. Can you use
no.
to lengthen telomeres and slow or reverse aging, either scalar or Rife or both?
Yes.
Which one would be better for that, or equal?
Scalar.
Okay.
Yeah, scalar would be better, they said.
Okay. Now, let's see. Are some people able to, with their doctor's advice, get off of some or all of their medications with any of these things? I guess check with your doctor though.
Yes.
Can you
Yes.
can you spiritually like can it help you spiritually, either of these, like balance chakras?
Yes.
Can
Yes, absolutely.
can it help with spiritual depression?
Yes.
Can it help with opening up
Yes.
your third eye so you can channel easier?
Yes.
Can it help decalcify the pineal gland?
Yes.
Are we talking about both of these? Well, you can say which one is better.
They both they both can. Um, Now the scalar energy, the pineal gland, they're showing me the rife with that one.
Okay. Okay.
The scalar energy, like the spiritual depression,
Okay.
they both have value, and they're going back and forth with them, saying that they complement each other.
Oh,
They have complementary effect. It also has to do with the individual and what exact process is being what they're
yeah.
attempting to do.
Which one would be better, or is it equal, for balancing chakras, and also which one for opening a third eye to help with channeling?
Scalar energy. Which one's better though? They're real close because
Equal.
they
Okay.
show me identifying the tone or identifying the frequency. So they're pretty close.
Okay.
Scalar's a little bit more though.
On both of these.
Yeah.
Okay. What about DNA activation?
The Rife machine.
Okay. Um, let's see. Aside from improving health, what other applications are there for these that we haven't talked about? I mean, we talked about, of course, scalar. It's 0 point energy, right? Scalar, is that the same thing? Uh-oh. Hello. Come back to me. You there?
Oh,
Oh, good.
I'm there.
Oh,
Yep. You see me? Hear me?
yes, I do.
You're
I do.
frozen.
Oh,
Okay. As long as you can hear me. You're
yes.
frozen on me though.
Okay.
But yes, he says yes to you about 0 point energy. He says that everything and all of above of what we just discussed, but he says that there's infinite possibility for it. He also talks that as we evolve consciously, as our awareness evolves, so does the prospect of what this is able to do for us, that it walks hand in hand with our consciousness and our awareness.
Okay. Is there anything else these two things can do that we haven't already talked about?
They just said sleep
Oh, okay.
disturbances.
Okay.
Um, they were talking about, we did talk about how the cancers, childhood cancers,
Okay.
changing how cancers are treated.
Okay.
Um, do you have maybe just to say they might answer specifically?
Oh, it's okay. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Do you have
So,
something specific that you were wondering about? Because it's quite a broad.
I
It's a pretty
know.
broad one. Yeah.
I know. Okay, real quick, almost finished. How do you generate scalar energy in the machine? What is it? Because, I mean, how do they put two electromagnets? I don't know. What do they do? To like get a little telescope and just focus the sunlight like we do for
Yeah,
burning.
I can see light being refracted, or because what I see is like panels and light that's being beamed. And I mean, forgive me for not having the technical wording to be able to put this together, because they're showing me the two sides and like the light refracting, and it's circular. Okay. It's all in circular motion, so there's no linear. So okay, it just looks like the light's being bent and it's going circular. So it's going around, that there's no linear process to it. So I'm not sure exactly what that machine is. I'm not getting the wording for that. So.
All right, sounds great. Thank you so much, Michelle. Boy, this was hard because everyone's frozen all the time. And thank you so much, Dr. Rife, Dr. Tesla. I'm so honored that you helped us out with this. Erik, my love, thank you so much for pitching in and bringing them on board. And you guys check out Michelle at The Healing.
They said thank you, doctor.
Oh, I'll put her website, Michelle Gray, who's awesome. I'll put her website right here. Bye, everyone.
Thank you.
Hit the subscribe.
Bye. Erik says bye, Mama.
I love you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.